Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday the 4th of January, and starting with the ASX on the monthly chart here. And the reason I'm showing this for is just really to, in Elliott Wave terms, present a much more bullish count than we may expect with the total debt in the world and the restlessness of certain countries edging themselves around and so on and so on. But yeah, I mean, apart from all of that, but as always, we just go step by step. So what I mean by that is that if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, we get 5 waves up here, then I can't see how that can be at the top of everything, So I just think we're going to be looking at all of this as a 1 and 2 here, and then going into a third wave. Now, of course, we need to prove that to ourselves as well. And when we hit maybe the 8,000 here, maybe we're a bit shy of it because the S&P is a little bit more advanced. But the S&P will hit 5,000 and we'll hit 8,000. And at those two levels, there's going to be some type of correction because we're tracking these 5 waves up. Now, there is a case that this third wave could be sitting up here as well. And then we have a 4th wave here and a 5th wave. So we've got some problems and issues to work through. Not only personally, but in the market. So, but all I'm presenting here is the possibility that we'll be going further up after we get an ABC here. But all in all, we'll be expecting a classic trading levels pattern at that particular level. So that's going to keep us safe, and that's going to help us with our timing and get us in right. So if that's the 8,000 here, we know 8's a profit-taking number, so we're going to be hit here. And this is why I think that the wave 3 will be here, the wave 4 will be here, and the wave 5 will be here. And this is what I'm looking for to the S&P, but I haven't kind of configured the trend here to do that just yet. So it would be a little bit like this. This is what I'm kind of thinking here. If I just clean this up a little bit for a start here. I think this wave 4 is one degree smaller than we think it is. So I think that we've got something like this to go here with all of this. But I need to sort of prove all of that. But at the same time, basically looking for the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the ABC pattern here. The wave 2 could be quite devastating. So people will think that it's the end of the world and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? And then we move up from that point. So this is what I'm thinking in the bigger picture. So just wanted to put that in place at the beginning of the year there. So yeah, we need to navigate all of that, of course. But let's move into this particular pattern here where we are at the moment. Daily chart. So we've been looking at it. So this wave 3 here and this wave 4 here would just be 1 degree smaller at the end of the day. So we would have this as a wave 4 here. Anyway, that's we've got to get out of this situation here. As I mentioned last time, it's possible to have the A, B, C, D, and E here, and we're finished here, and we go up from this point. Now, I can count 5 waves in this leg here, so that's good. But to prove that we're going to be bullish and going higher from here, we need to take out this high here to do that. That would confirm that we're going up to the 8,000 at that point. Otherwise, we need to be looking at this here as the A, B, C, D here, or even B, and then a move down here either in 3 waves for the E wave, or if it's the B, we'll come down in 5 waves. So we need to work through that first as well. So what we could say as well is that the closest largest number is the 7,500. If we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on that 500 and that becomes the support, well, then we'll be bullish at that point. So even though we've got issues here and problems and so on, this 7,500 as support will sort all of those out, and yeah, we'll be long at that point. So as I just mentioned, we've got 5 waves in this move to the upside here. So I think we've been working on the hourly chart. So we'll go to the hourly and the tick chart and just have a little bit of a look at all of this. So as it stands, we can have this as a wave B or D up here of a C wave, and we've got 5 waves in here, which I will probably need to adjust here somewhat. I'll just see what I've done on the tick chart first before I do that. It doesn't really matter, there's 5 waves there. So what I'm sort of thinking, the problem is that we could just go to here and then drop from that point. It does appear that this is in 5 waves here, as I may have mentioned before, and we've got an ABC here, not very clear, but yeah, a little bit more of a push up into there. So that leaves us with the short positions. Well, at this, we can get much closer to the market at that point, but yeah, so we need to be a little bit careful. Having that 5 waves down here is a bit of a catalyst to get another 5 waves here for wave 3 at that point. But let's go to the tick chart now and just refine all of this. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about that wave E of 4 here just yet, because we're not decided on that just yet. So yeah, right, so we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then 1 ABC for 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for the third, the fourth, and then 5 waves up here for the 5th wave. So that's how that 5 waves is counted. So if that top is taken out, then we're bullish. It's possible, that's what we will look for. The second thing here is that it does appear that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we've got that impulse wave here. So that means that after corrective rally back to the 61.8% mark, 62% mark, not that that really means much. Sometimes it hits it and it's hauntingly sort of accurate and so on, but otherwise it could be 78.6, it could be 50 and so on. But we just stick the flags in the ground here and we swim between the flags, so to speak. So we've got that's our little area here. So that's really handy because we know the 61.8% is at the 7.5. We know 5 is the second strongest number. So if we were going to go long on that, then we would need to have a classic trading levels pattern there at that point in time. So let me just fill in the dots here. So we'll be looking for wave 3 here, wave 4 to come back, and I haven't pulled that apart, but I can see we've got something in here. We may not be at the 3rd wave yet, so we'll get wave 5 up there for wave C of B. It'll be nice if we do get a nice little move up above the level, by the way, because what will happen at that point where we go long over here for this as such, right, we can now go long over here. We can bring it down closer at that point once we count our little 5 waves to the upside. Now there may also be the case that we could go straight up from that point. I doubt it because we haven't made a new low below this 5 waves here. So it's probably we've got an A wave here, an A, B, C for the B wave here, and then we'll have a C wave down here. If that's the case, then we still really need to wait for this here to give us another little classic trading levels pattern sitting at this level here, and then we can look, or even if I can see that, let's just imagine for a moment that we get 5 waves up here, and this may not happen. We could just continue to come down from that point too, but let's just imagine that we do get 5 waves up here. Well, then we'll have an ABC here, so we'll be based on those 5 waves, we'll be able to buy on the lows here and across the top here at that point. So we'll get much closer to the market in that regard. So we're just working on the timing of the whole thing without being trapped. That's what we're trying to do here. Yeah, so there's a possibility that it can come down. Look, put it this way: if it's going to go up, we're going to ride that train one way or another. We're going to catch it. Will it go up? Well, I don't know. We've still got the problem with, if I can go to the banks and just go to not BHP, CBA, We'd been, this is a daily chart, as you know, I'd been looking for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here, for the B wave, and then down. So I'm thinking, you know, we may not do this, you know, this may be the low in here with wave 4, with wave 3 here as an A and a B and a C wave here as an expanded flat. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But what I have to do is I have to wait for these 5 waves up here to finish. And once they're finished, then we can go long above here. It's as simple as that. We may come down here for this. This little move up through here. I just think there's another little move to go up. One little move to go up. So let me just get this into perspective. We've got the A wave here, the B wave here. Now, wave 1 seems quite simple and wave 2 seems simple. This appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here. And it looks, this is where it gets a little bit dodgy for me. I haven't really had time to ponder it, but 1 and 2 and something or other here. I was sort of thinking, anyway, we may have a top in play here. I just don't know yet, but it does look impulsive here. Does it look impulsive? Yeah, maybe the A wave and a B wave and a C wave to here, but I think we just still watch it for a while, you know, even if we get something like this here for this. I still want that fifth, I still want a 5th wave to come into place. This may be the 4th wave here, but, you know, like 1 and 2, and this is quite a nice size here, isn't it, you know? So we still need that top to be in play there, and then we can go long above that. Sure, we may be able to get a better entry once all the space is filled in here, but in a nutshell, we're going from wave B to C here in 5 waves, and we need that 5th wave to play out here. And then above that we can turn bullish, but this is where we need to be careful at this point. So we're not here yet with this. The 5 waves may already be tucked in here. If the market drops below the 100, then we'll put the top in here and we'll have to, you know, rejig this in some particular way. But I just don't see it as yet. Anyway, I'm going to spend more time on it. But it's a bit gappy in here, so I thought, well, that's typical of a 3rd wave. So I think that we're in the third of the third. So these little gaps kind of puts me in the right place anyway. So even if it does go up, we can't expect it to keep going. It could do, but we'd still need at least from wave 4 to wave 5 here, this move here in 5 waves. Anything above that, we can go long at that point. And if we were going to go long at that point, then we'll be, you know, we'll need to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here for wave 1, back for 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll be going up, you know, higher at that point. Well, up until the ASX hits the 8,000 type of thing. I haven't seen ANZ since last Christmas, so I'll just have a look at that. Not much change. I mean, one of our strategies here was that before we went long, we would need to see it sitting on the 28 as support. It's definitely not there yet. We've just got lower lows and lower highs here so far, so we're kind of in that downtrend. So I don't think that we need to do anything here just yet, you know. I don't really see a clear 5-wave pattern up here for this, so it's still at risk. Yes, it could move higher, but I can't go long without having some sort of evidence of something or other. There's nothing there at the moment. It's just an empty husk. So yeah, so that's the bank and the ASX. So let's have a look at the resource side of life, and just want to find iron ore. So I had a bit of a look at iron ore in that it does appear that we've got a 3-wave move here. It's not to say that that's the top and we're going to crash here, because we could still count it impulsively. I'm just pointing out that, well, that's that's in 3 waves there. You know, that could roll over from there, and it is slowly coming on a bit more of an angle here, and I noticed that with BHP actually as well. So if I have a quick look at BHP, you see how BHP's rolling here, we'll come back to this, but that roll there could leave it there with, I mean, we haven't reached our target or anything. We haven't really had a good correction at 40 either. It's just kind of skipped and tripped on through that. But yeah, so we could probably expect more. And realistically, I could probably put wave A here for this and then come back for wave B here and then have wave C up here. But I didn't want to go there just yet until I figured out the iron ore, because if iron ore drops, well, then this is going to drop as well. And if this is going to drop, well, then we'll need to jump out. But let's just go back to our iron ore here for a moment. Let's just pick it up on the, was it the tick chart or the hourly chart or something? Just check. Okie dokie, so that's the low. So we can count this up here in 5 waves to wave 1 or wave A here, and then we've got 5 waves down here. So we're going to look at that as the A wave. We've got only 3 waves here, so we can look at that as the B wave. And then we've got 5 waves down here. So this really reminds me of a B wave rather than a wave 2. So because a wave 2 is just simple and sharp, the size of this here, this should have been the size of, even this is quite big for a wave 2. So the size of this one here is like, well, it's more than likely that we need to put wave B in front here and wave A here. So it's giving me more of a corrective pattern at this point. Then counting it up here, I suppose we could count that as, no, but we've got 5 waves here, so that doesn't work. That's the only way it can work. So, and then we've got this move up here. It's a little bit crowded, but stay with me. 1 and 2 and 3, and then wave 4 here. Doesn't really overlap wave 1, so that's okay. And then looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this top here. So kind of looks, this here I can count it, this move down here I can count it as being corrective, and I can count it as being impulsive, so it's not much help to me at this point. I can see that this move here is impulsive, so at least we can look at this as being well, I'll just use this. We could look at it as wave 1 or wave A here and wave B here, and going up, it might just go up for wave C here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and go to 5 here, and then drop again from here. So this is what we've got to see. It still doesn't mean that it's bearish at this point, but we would need to see what goes on here. So we need for this to play out here. So we can have an A and a B and a C wave in here. It also means that all of this can just be the A wave as well here. So that means that all of this move here can just come back to the 50-60% retracement level down yonder here. Where are we in here? Can just come back to here somewhere, to the 600. And then have another leg up at that point. But in having another leg up at that point, this would just be some sort of A, B, C pattern here, and then another 5 waves up here, probably much the same size as the first leg here, and then that could be it at that point, which would be this here as, if I can just take some liberty here without actually confirming anything, an A wave, B wave and C wave here for this. So an ABC, and then this would fit, if that was the case, then that would fit with the BHP and the RIO and all the rest of them. So let's just go back to BHP here again. As I mentioned before, then we could still put wave C over here and wave B up here. Then all of this becomes the A wave here with a B wave here, and then a C wave here for this. But you'd have to say that BHP there, you know, it could pop up from there. Don't get me wrong, I've seen it before, but it is bending over. It's on lower volume. I mean, so it's not it's sort of divergence, really. So it's likely to pull back. So we could expect it to pull back. Into that space. So we've got long trades in here on the tick chart, so let's just go in and have a little look at those guys. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about putting wave 1 and 2 there and so on. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe one more high, or that's the high there already. So I think that for the sake of the trades that we have in here, we need to put that there at the moment. Just keep it out of the way. Let's check out some of the other folks. So Rio is next. It's probably at 100. Rio. There we go. Well, this is the bigger picture. This is a weekly chart for Rio, so this gives you a bit of an idea here. Yeah, looking at this top here, and then the A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. So in a nutshell, we'd been looking for the same thing, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. We'd expect a bit more of a rally here. It's a bit small, before coming down into this space. So that's what I'm thinking anyway, I know I've got this as wave C here as well, and wave A over here, so we could put a top in here and have an A and a B and a C here. Bit of a long shot. Let's go into the tick chart and just pick it up from the low, see what... Don't worry about the count too much. Could be one more there. No, there's 5 waves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can have a little bit of a top in here. I don't know if we got a top or not, but we've got trades in here, so we're just going to put the stop here for this. It doesn't matter if we get out, because if we give it enough time between group 1 above the 100 and group 2 below here, it's doing its little dance in here at the moment. Let's allow this to mature in here and let's see what we get at that point. Okay. Apart from that though, if we take this low here, just to let you know what we're up against, we can be pulling back to that point. So we don't want to turn our winning trade into a losing trade, you know what I mean? And we don't want to, hope is something that you can't buy. I don't know, maybe you can spend a bit on it. Yeah, let's just see how it dances in there. Let's lock up what we've got here at this point. And let's have a look at FMG as well while we're here. Okay, so obviously don't worry about the count too much either from this low here. But you're ahead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I doubt if it's wave 1 at this point. I'm just going to kind of line it up with the other guys at the moment. So we've got a half position here, one here, one here, one here, and we've got our stop here now. I mean, normally if I was trading myself, I'd take it at the level there, which I should have done, could have, would have. But anyway, I just wanted to see how it goes. It looks a little bit impulsive here for this, so we'll probably get stopped out here. But still, at least we've done most of the right things at the right time, so that's pretty much how the game works. I can also see that that's in here as well. That should be there and there and there. This here, we don't need that, and that doesn't look very 5 wave-ish here, but on the other markets it is, so that's okay. And then we'll need wave B coming down, if that's going to be the case. But it just depends on what iron ore does at that stage, so we'll see. Oopsie daisy. Okay, I mean, it could pop up and do anything here, but let's just see how we go with that. I'm just going to save that, and then what do we normally do? Let me just get my Australian list here. So we've looked at the resource stocks. We look at the Australian dollar next. Where are we with that? Okay, so we're on the weekly chart here for the Australian dollar. We can see that we've got 1, 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've got this impulse wave here. So we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. And then once that occurs, we'll be looking for more downside at that point, I would imagine. So the A wave's in place. We're looking for the ABC here. It hasn't pulled back from the A to the B here. It hasn't pulled back to its box here. Not that it has to, but yeah. So I think we were looking for one more move down here as well. So let's just go to the daily chart for that. So from wave B here, or whatever it is, we're looking for 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and an ABC for fourth. Went a bit higher than I expected it to, but let's just see how that plays out. I mean, if I'm wrong, any move above here now, because I can see from, well, I can see from this low here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So anything above that, because this would be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to that point. So any move above that would be long at that point. So we'll give it next session. We'll have a look at the intraday on that, and we'll have a look at if we can short it. But for the short, we would need the 5 waves down here to complete. So anyway, just keep an eye on our charts for that. Yeah, so then we can short under here or short the ABC and so on if that's going to be the case. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in, and let's have an enjoyable trading odyssey into 22. Cheers.